An election to remember or forget, why votes are still being counted tonight. A teacher, a student, his mother, reaction to an explosive sex scandal. And it's not the Southwest, but the Chicago suburbs battling wildfires. Next at 10. Next, still counting. 24 hours after the polls close, Cook County still does not have a final tally. What's the problem?
3 weeks later, police finally believe they know who was behind the wheel of this SUV.
Seeing red, why a Target 5 investigation is now center stage in the City Council. The news starts now.
Live from Chicago's NBC5, this is NBC5 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Allison Rosati.
And I'm Warner Saunders. Tonight, John Stroger's campaign is celebrating a primary win. The Cook County Board president remains hospitalized after his stroke last week. This evening, his family and his opponent did the talking. NBC5's Rob Elgas has more reaction. Rob?
Warner, it was an odd acceptance speech, not because of the rhetoric, but because the winning Democratic candidate didn't do the talking. Regardless, John Stroger's campaign moves on, its sights set on the November election.
I accept the nomination for my father
Flanked by congressmen, family, and supporters, Alderman Todd Stroger spoke about his father's reaction to the primary victory.
He's aware of the victory.
Did he have any comment about it?
He's just happy.
Reaction from the Stroger camp came hours after challenger Forrest Claypool conceded.
I called Alderman Todd Stroger, John Stroger's son, to congratulate him on his father's victory. And to wish his father a full recovery and best wishes.
Claypool's concession comes when roughly 500 precinct votes still must be counted, but it became clear today even those votes won't bring victory to Claypool.
Based on where the numbers are coming in, the remaining precincts to be counted, between the split between the suburbs and the city, it's obvious to me that the outcome of this election isn't going to change.
It was a stark contrast to Claypool's campaign reacting to problems with vote counts last night.
It's about people, and people who sometimes need a safety net, and John Stroger has always been someone who, I guess he's an old Franklin Roosevelt Democrat.
Stroger's supporters did not discuss his condition. The 76-year-old remains hospitalized, recovering from a stroke. Doctors say it is much worse than originally thought. As the November election nears, if Stroger cannot perform his duties, party leaders will pick a replacement to face the Republican challenger. Allison?
Thanks, Rob. The County Board of Elections blames the ballot problems on apparent glitches in the new electronic voting equipment. Hundreds of precincts remain uncounted a day after the polls closed, delaying final results in the Cook County Board president's race.
I really can't say that anything went wrong, in essence, is that what had happened was the computer can't read all the memory cartridges.
The counting of the ballots is expected to be completed sometime tomorrow.
After a hard-fought primary, Republican candidates for governor gathered for a unity breakfast.
An absolute phenomenal campaigner, a very good man with a good heart.
The winner, Judy Bartopinka, tried to make peace with second-place candidate Jim Oberweis. But Oberweis wants promises from Topinka she is not willing to make.
I'm hoping that that Judy will join our campaign for reform.
If the party wants to win an election, then we play as a team.
Topinka's other primary opponents were willing to pledge support for her campaign. Governor Rod Blagojevich kicked off his post-primary campaign today. He asked the legislature for a $1 increase in the state's minimum hourly wage. He also tried to link Republican Judy Bartopinka to former Governor George Ryan, who is awaiting the verdict on his federal corruption trial.
And Warner, tonight there is a snag in deliberations at the George Ryan corruption trial. Judge Rebecca Pallmeyer reveals that the jurors are having personal difficulties. Judge Pallmeyer says jurors sent her 2 notes in recent days. She's now drafting a response and will make that public tomorrow morning. The 7th day of deliberations ended this afternoon.
Tonight, police have a break in the death of a Metra employee. She was killed nearly 3 weeks ago when an SUV slammed into a Berwyn train station. Now, authorities believe they have found the driver. NBC5's Amy Jacobson is live from Berwyn with the investigation. Good evening, Amy.
Warner tonight, 44-year-old Stephen Pacina of Riverside is in custody on an arrest warrant for leaving the scene of a fatal accident. Berwyn police believe he's been hiding out at his uncle's condominium for the past 3 weeks. Around 4 o'clock this afternoon, Berwyn police and U.S. Marshals pick up Stephen Pacina. For 3 weeks now, they believe he's been at his uncle's condominium in Oak Brook.
It was without incident with the assistance of his uncle. It was very peaceful, and there was really nothing said from Mr. Pacina at that point.
Police believe Pacina was speeding and driving erratically the morning of March 3rd, plowing his Land Rover into the Metra station, killing ticket agent Kathy Talmadge. Police match blood found inside the SUV with evidence taken from Pacina's home.
DNA testing has been conducted and has confirmed that Mr. Pacina was in the vehicle at the time of the crash.
Berwyn police knew Pacina was in the area. 2 attorneys had called on his behalf and said their client would turn himself in when an arrest warrant was issued. Tonight, many questions remain, including why he left the scene.
I don't know if he knew that there was anyone in the building or not. Not at the point of impact.
Now, members from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office are here working on upgrading those charges. Police say Pacina is a former financial trader who has been out of work since January. Tomorrow, they are expected to release his mugshot. Reporting live from Berwyn, Amy Jacobson, NBC5 News.
Thank you, Amy. New Trier High School mourns the death of a star softball player. Police say 18-year-old Ari Chester was cut off as she drove north on the Edens Monday night. She swerved to avoid the car, hit a semi, and flipped her Jeep. Her softball coach says she was like a daughter to him.
Was somebody whose kindness and compassion, I think, are really what we should all be about.
State police are still looking for the driver of the car and the driver of the semi involved in the crash.
Straight ahead, a dream vacation turns tragic for a dozen Americans in South America.
You heard from the Florida teacher who had an affair with a 14-year-old boy. Now the teen's mother is talking.
It's the sizzling controversy over a new procedure that keeps meat red. Target 5 broke the story. Now see what the city council is doing about it.
Tonight on Jay, Terry Bradshaw in his new movie, Naked?
We have the actual scene.
Don't show it! Plus, the lady who gave her chicken CPR, the music of Russell Crowe and The Ordinary Fear of God, and tonight's show Secrets Revealed.
I'm a man.
Son of a... Then on Conan, Sacha Baron Cohen and Liev Schreiber. Tonight...
When it comes to the daily grind, nobody works it harder than we do. But during Dodge Truck Month, you won't break a sweat getting a great deal on the longest-lasting full-size pickups. There's a Ram 1500 with Hemi power and 20-inch wheels, Ram Mega Cab with a bigger interior than Ford and Chevy, and a Ram Heavy Duty with the legendary Cummins Turbo Diesel. Get to your local Dodge dealer, because while the daily grind never lets up, Truck Month won't last long. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months on all trucks, or qualified lessees can lease a Ram 1500 for $239 a month.
Keep your men back! Inside Man is the best heist movie since Dog Day Afternoon.
He's up to something.
Inside Man piles surprise on surprise.
There's only one thing it could be.
Just when you think you figured it out, you haven't. This ain't no bank robbery! Inside Man, rated R, starts Friday.
Tires. You may not think about them much, but at Cassidy Tire we do. They've been a big part of our lives since we were kids.
And when you've been around them as much as we have, you get to know a lot about them.
So come to Cassidy. Our years of experience assures you'll get the right tires, a great price, and the best service.
NBC5 News is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland Ford dealers.
Oh, great.
Can we get out?
I don't know. Well, my folks said we can stay another night.
There's a reason it's called the Escape. The Ford Escape, with an intelligent four-wheel drive system.
Get 0% financing for 60 months. Plus, current Ford owners get an extra $1,000. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months.
Sky 5 captures pictures of a wild bushfire near Winthrop Harbor. Flames burn in the middle of the Illinois Beach State Park near 25th and Fulton. 24 fire trucks responded this afternoon. The flames and smoke spread over 2 miles but did not appear to threaten any homes. A van accident in northern Chile kills 12 Americans. The tourists were returning to a cruise ship after an excursion. The driver told police he lost control of the bus. It plunged 300 feet down a mountainside. The driver tour guide, and 2 other Americans are hospitalized in serious condition.
Tonight, Milwaukee police are searching for 2 boys who vanished without a trace. Family members say 11-year-old Purvis Parker and 12-year-old Quadrevian Hennig went outside to play Sunday but never returned home. Police officers are going door to door, and today divers searched a nearby lagoon.
We usually locate children relatively quickly. They're usually over at their friend's house, or they ran away because there was a dispute in the family. This one is different because the 2 children just disappeared.
Milwaukee police say so far there is no evidence a crime has been committed.
Tonight, a mother speaks out for the first time about how her 14-year-old son was lured into sex with his teacher. Deborah LaFave pleaded guilty to having sex with the middle school student.
To try to conceive that bipolar would cause someone to be a child molester is beyond comprehension. So, do I believe she has bipolar? Absolutely. Am I glad she's getting treatment for it? Yes. I believe she should serve prison time for what she did, but at the end of the day, not at the expense of my son.
Deborah LaFave is now on probation.
A frightening scene in Ohio. This security video captures what happens to a clerk at the Cash America store. A pickup truck crashed through the storefront as the employee jumped behind the counter. Fortunately, no one was injured. The driver is facing drunk driving charges.
Next, Target 5 gets results. Its report on red meat gets the attention of Chicago aldermen. See what happens next.
It's called the black box warning. Should it be on attention deficit drugs? Why the debate is now taking center stage.
And a wily coyote on the loose in the Big Apple. See how they tracked him down.
Rave reviews for the all-new Hyundai Sonata. In areas of performance and features, Sonata wins in a landslide. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy, Sonata also boasts the government's highest crash safety rating. Call it a shot across the bow of Honda, Toyota, and Nissan. The all-new Hyundai Sonata, with America's best warranty, nicely equipped at just $17,995. It's a Hyundai like you've never seen before. Get the all-new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer.
Baby. Girl. Baby. Boy. Baby. Save. Baby. Joy.
Table for 2. Savings for you. Swing it savings for all my groovy cats.
The scorching hot Chrysler 300.
Now qualified lessees can lease a Chrysler 300 for just $299 a month.
I mean, the reason Josephine...
You don't have enough minutes. Don't answer this. You don't have enough minutes.
What
don't answer
is that?
Oh, that's just my new ringtone. It's a reminder.
No minutes. Don't answer. No minutes. Don't answer.
Need more Anytime Minutes? Right now, get 1,500 nationwide Anytime Minutes for only $45 a month. Plus, get free Call Me Minutes. U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
In tonight's Target 5, Seeing Red, a report last month on the use of carbon monoxide to treat some packaged meats has stirred controversy countrywide and prompted action here at home. Lisa Parker has our update. Lisa?
Thanks, Allison. This has rapidly turned into a national debate many seem to want to sink their teeth in. And tomorrow, all eyes will be on a Chicago City Council committee where a proposed ordinance, the first of its kind in the country, would definitely crank up the heat on this controversial issue. Minutes after purchase from the grocery store, these 2 packages of ground beef look similar. A couple days at room temperature may tell if in fact there is a big difference here. A difference that may signal how the meat was treated before it arrived at the store. A relatively new practice that incorporates carbon monoxide to prolong the red color of the meat's pigment that has some consumer groups fuming.
I think that it's not only misleading but potentially very dangerous to consumers.
Since Target 5 first covered this controversy, the meat flap made its way into the headlines of the nation's major newspapers, resulting in criticism of the Food and Drug Administration's handling of this issue. While no one questions the safety of the minute amounts of carbon monoxide itself, there are concerns the prolonged color created by it deceives consumers.
You can no longer use color to judge the freshness or the quality of the meat or the wholesomeness of the meat. If this technology is used, the consumer has no way of knowing.
This is a technology that's been proven to be safe and effective. In fact, government scientists at the FDA have reviewed this technology not once, but on 4 occasions.
But the FDA did no independent testing. The agency relied on meat manufacturers' data to decide this process is safe. A big mistake.
I think the meat lobby has the federal government in its pocket.
If you ask Chicago Alderman Ed Burke.
It just seems to me unfair to the consumer that this artificial means can be utilized to make the food product appear to be something that's not.
After watching our Target 5 report, Burke decided the city should take action where the FDA has not.
It shall be unlawful for any person to sell.
His proposed ordinance would ban the sale of carbon monoxide-treated case-ready meat in Chicago. So who sells it? That answer is a shifting landscape. The stores that tell Target 5 they do not carry CO-treated meat include Jewel, Whole Foods, Meijer, and Walmart, which did sell it but no longer does. Those that do sell it include Target and Aldi. Cub Food says it decided this week to phase out the sale of this product. Only Dominic's did not answer our repeated inquiries. Standing inside the grocery store, there is no way for consumers to tell if case-ready meat has been treated with carbon monoxide. There's no labeling requirement. But back in our room temperature experiment, the red flags appear easier to find. After 2 days unrefrigerated, the meat packaged in the store is now decidedly brown. The case-ready meat, packaged by a company known to use the carbon monoxide treatment, looks as red as when we bought it. And now we have an update within our update. Just in the last hour, Dominic's did weigh in with an answer. The store does sell the carbon monoxide treated meat in what a spokesperson calls a small percentage. The American Meat Institute says this process has been much maligned in the media and now being maligned in the halls of Chicago City Council. They plan to defend it at the hearing tomorrow. All sides of this issue are expected to be in attendance. It is Chicago City Council committee. Will be interesting. We'll have the latest on our news at 4:30.
Should be a sizzling meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
In Health Watch, the FDA panel prescribes a new warning on some drugs given to children. The 7 popular medications, including Adderall and Ritalin, treat ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit and Hyperactive Disorder. They've caused some children to see imaginary bugs and insects. Today, the panel ruled a warning about hallucination should be added to the drug labels, but they voted against the government's strongest caution, known as the black box warning.
Checking suburban headlines in tomorrow's Daily Herald, a man convicted of murder using lip print evidence is suddenly free after 8 years in prison. His prints were found on a roll of duct tape at the crime scene, but a judge has now ruled last week that lip prints are not as valid as fingerprints.